I don't know what agents are doing. It sometimes boggles my mind.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
When it comes to time block, I know you kind of briefly touched on your pad. If you were to coach someone on time blocking, how they would do it, how you structure your day, lead generation, blocking out time, things you do, was it certain days, certain hours? Could you just give us a bit more depth on the time blocking aspect of what you do to give people, a bit of a schedule? Because that is, I think, almost universally of all our listenership, even people coming on, time blocking and schedule are like basically two of the biggest topics, because it's like one of the big ways.
And ironically, everybody has a different way of doing it.
Yeah. So tell us how you're doing it and tell us what you're doing.
Yeah. So what I try to do is what I've done over the years. I'm cheating. I feel like I'm cheating now, to be honest. So I'll get to what I'm doing now. But what I've done over the years that's gotten me here is I tried to spend between 9 and 12 doing some kind of lead gen activity. So I would not allow myself to, again, tweak my website or come up with a better postcard or the stuff that I feel like most agents spend 90% of their time, I've seen in the offices I've been in, doing stuff like that. Like, I got to get a better postcard. I got to get my business card just right or whatever. And I feel like it's a contact sport. We need to be in front of people. So that's my thing. 9 to 12, I'm doing some form of lead gen, and it's changed a million times over the years. It could be calling past clients. It could be calling for sale by owners. It could be visiting past clients, whatever works for you. I feel like it needs to be new business generated related. And I just always did 3 hours of that before I allowed myself to do anything else. I feel like this is true. You can screw up everything in this business. If you'll do that, you'll be fine. You can do that. You can blow everything. But if you don't do that, you can be a rock star at other stuff, but it's not going to really impact your business. So that's my opinion. Do that for 3 hours first. So that was my thing, from 9 to 12, something new business related. That's all I'm doing. I didn't do it 100%, but that's what I tried to do. And I just felt like if I did that, I could mess up everything else. So 9 to 12, then after 12, 12 to 5 or whatever, I could kind of do whatever else. I just would prioritize the other stuff after that if it was a listing appointment or showing a buyer or whatever. But the lead gen time I tried to keep sacred. I always would do a workout in the morning. That's my thing. And I try to also align my hobbies with kind of my business. So I'm really into cycling. Everybody that I cycle with knows what I do. I'm really into playing music. I play with several different groups. Everybody in those groups know what I do. I just trying to align the two. And raising my kids, all my other kids' parents. So things like that really helped.
Yeah, you've basically built a sphere, which again, we love seeing a lot of commonalities with amazing top producers, which one of these is everything people like yourself do, because you've got all these deals now. And it's like, how do you do it? Everything you do, you're looking for an opportunity, but you're not actively ramming it down people's throats. So it's like, hey, when I pick up the kids from school, one of the things is like, you just get chatting to other parents. And then all of a sudden you're building relationships. And then a year later, 2 years later, a deal comes from it. It's like, yeah, but now I've got 30 relationships at the school, play in the band, play at church. I do all this, and you're just chatting. And then if you're a good person, people know what you do because they'll be interested. And, again, it's not shoving it down people's throats. It's about just being a genuine person. Like, we speak about this a lot, because being genuine, I think the reason it's so important is you find a lot of fake people in the world, and being fake is incredibly hard. right? People think it's like, let's use like the whole Instagram guru, whatever. They look amazing. They're driving the Lamborghinis that they've rented, right? And being fake is incredibly hard, and you're super disingenuous. So when people meet you, a lot of the time with people like that, they're basically arseholes, right? You meet them, they're just not what they portrayed at all. The thing about, for example, with this show, everyone listening right now, me and Peter, who we're exactly like we're like right now when we speak. We swear like troopers. We are straight shooters. We will tell you as we see it. And like, if you don't like that, it's not my fucking problem. I'm not going to lie. Like, if you don't like me, like, I don't really care. It's not my job to get everyone to like me. It's my job to find the people that do like me and just hit it off with them and have a great time. I don't need 1,000 friends in this world, and you need like 10 good ones. You have the best time in the world, right? So it's like, also we've helped 100 plus agents cross 100,000, which is like our goal. Our goal is every agent should make 100,000, and it's like, have we spoken to more than 100 agents to be part of our team or coaching or whatever? Of course. Do some people like us? Sorry, do some people not like us? Of course. But it's like, be genuinely who you fucking are. It will attract people who will want to buy and sell through you. The more fake you are, the more people will figure it out.
Sooner or later, it's going to come out.
Oh,
right? No matter what you do, no matter how fake you try to be, no matter how not you're either going to get exhausted and you're going to give up, and then you're going to just basically
burn out.
Burn out and roast yourself out there for everybody to see and have a breakdown. Or they're just going to pick you apart and they're going to go the other way out of the gate, and they're going to know. We feel it, right? When somebody's not true to themselves, we feel it. We feel something's off. We feel when they're talking. So, for example, Vince, if you were doing these things for your clients, but your intention wasn't in the right place, your clients would feel it, and you probably wouldn't get as much returning business as you do, right? So it's the intent that you have as you're building your business. And I love what you said about, I created my hobbies around what I do, and everybody that is involved in that knows what I do, aka playing music, cycling, because that's kind of what my wife and I are doing. And it just happens more so naturally because we go and we take the kids to the park. So naturally we meet other parents and they're like, what's going on in the real estate world? Should I buy? Should I sell? Are we high? Are we low? And all this other stuff. And it just opens the conversation. And I'm not going to word vomit real estate and buy and sell right there and then, but I'm going to become a resource, which is, I know that's your strategy as well. How do you become more valuable for that end user and get them to where they want to go? And then verily, you get compensated very well for it, right? And that's how you do the numbers that you do in a year where most agents are bumming around saying this has been last year was either your worst year or your best year. There was nothing in between.
Yeah, totally.
Every single person that we spoke to, it was either their worst year or their best year. It wasn't like, I did okay. I did okay by like doubling my business, or I did okay by tripling my business, because everybody's humble.
One of the funniest things, wasn't it, was we heard this beginning of this year. This is hilarious, Vince. I'm sure you'll resonate with this, actually, because we're like, a lot of people switch off at the back end of Q4, right? They're just going out, family, whatever, like, cool, do whatever. And the person we were speaking to was like, I know, I thank them all. I fucking love those people. And we're like, why? And he's like, because that's when tons of people are buying and selling. So I just got loads of work in the last quarter because everyone else is fucking doing nothing. It's like, it's brilliant. It's like I sold like nearly 50% of all my homes in the last like 8 weeks of the year because every other agent switched off. He's like, so every Q4 I fucking love. He's like, I go really hard.
Yeah. No, I that does resonate with me a lot. Because I just basically told you everything I do. I was hoping when I got into this, it would be lots and lots of work for very little money, but that over time, the work would go down and the money would go up. And I'm just not that guy who has all these spikes and valleys. I'm kind of boring, slow and steady. But I just showed up. And what you just said, I think, is like most of the offices I've been in, nobody's working. Or I shouldn't say nobody, but I don't know what agents are doing. It sometimes boggles my mind. but they're
I
like,
think we've been going harder the last 3 months than most agents for a fact, but we've been going harder the last 3 months than we've done the last 12 months or 12 months ago, right? The first 9 months, we probably didn't go as hard as the last 3 months of the year.
Yeah.
For a fact.
yeah, I mean, and just, yeah, for me, I've just showed up. I just kept showing up. I mean, I didn't work a ton of hours ever. You know, I tried to keep it at 40, maybe 50.
So let's clarify this. When you say show up, what does it specifically mean? Because now you said it a few times. So anybody who's still listening to this, that's a little bit unclear. Do you mean show up for an hour a day, do X, Y, Z, aka your prospecting and then your time blocking? Help us define what showing up every day means.
Well, for me, I mean, I started having team members about 20 years ago. So I just would go to the office and work. Like I just tried to work 8-hour days. And I feel like a lot of people get into real estate because it's flexible, but I feel like they kind of flex themselves too much or whatever. I don't know.
Well, they flex themselves out of what they're supposed to be actually doing.
No.
And then they go pick up something else part-time to make up for their flex.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So my thing is I'm going to show up and I'm going to just do the stuff that the lead gen, I'm going to show up and do that first. And then I've got my afternoon to do whatever else. And if I just keep showing up over time, I have a feeling I'll be okay. And I'm really not a rock star in any of these areas. I steal lots of ideas from podcasts and I just show up. Like in this office I'm in now, man, I mean, agents will come in for an hour or two and then they leave. And I'm like, I don't know where they're going or what, but I just am here. So just 8 hours a day, whatever. That's what I've tried to do. Now I work more like half days, but just show up, be consistent.
Half days, but 1.6 million.
I envy you, Vince. Show up and be consistent.
But it's like Peter's wanting you to give him some secret code here, Vince, where it's like, just tell me that little thing you say to the world and it all comes out. It's like, no, just fucking show up and do work. Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to this and you aren't making at least $100,000 per year in GCI and you're looking for a predictable system to get you there, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.